Trying to see if this thing working. Okay, I see the chat working. Y'all forgive me. I was trying to look. I was looking on my phone to see if it was working. I don't have long. I'm only on here about 30 minutes. But I was on a call and I had the Zoom call, so I figured I'll just pop on here because I shot a video earlier today and I didn't upload it. So with the Blessed Tribe, I wanted to do a little quick 30-minute Q&A. Any questions y'all have for me? Anything that's going on that you've been thinking about or dealing with or seeing, whether it be in your life or in the media, you could just put the hashtag Q and I'll see that. I did a video earlier today, an hour-long video that I'll get to upload. Probably just save it for tomorrow and kind of see what I get to put that up. What I'll be doing is, while I'm home until I head back to England, I got to go back to England. But while I'm home, then I will be. I don't know who Wrestle Tessa is, so I'm not as tapped in as y'all think. It's just y'all be sending me stuff, but I don't have a clue who Russell Tessa is. And but while I'm home, I'm gonna be doing some long form teaching. So make sure you kind of is it Mila or Mila? God bless you. Thank you for being a member. I'll be doing some long form teaching where we're gonna be kind of doing a little deep dive and just with the spirit, just flowing with the spirit, and we're gonna think about that. And unique in here, one of the members in here, why would a woman be approached and pursued by mostly old men? Mm, that means you look like young Stella and they trying to get their groove back. That's all that is. You can't really think too much about it. It's just a man is a man. So what you got to remember is that even a garbage can want a steak. So just because a certain type of man approach you, he could be a garbage can and you could be a steak, and he just wants you. My 2-year-old has been struggling in school. His teacher says he does not listen. Dad is not in the home. How can I deal with the situation? Well, I appreciate you for taking me outside of the love and relationship space and ask me a parenting question. But I'm gonna give you a little tip with that because me and my wife, we never had terrible tools. And so, oh, okay, the 50-part series, that's her name. My wife told me about that. What you have to do, LaDonna, is you're gonna have to create structure. So you gotta have a time for everything. You gotta have a time for bedtime. You gotta have a time for the bath. You gotta have a time for brushing the teeth. You got to have a full body lotion. You got to have a bedtime story, and then you have to have bedtime. And you got to have your 2-year old in his or her his in his own room, in his own space, if you have a room for him. And you have to have structure. You got to have things you want him to do, and then you have to have consequence and reward. Even though he's 2 years old, you got to have consequence and reward. And when you give that structure, a lot of times we just let the kids live and do whatever. Keys to David, thank you for being here, and do whatever. Then that's when they don't listen in school. And it is normal though, especially for a boy. And also you got to explain to the teacher, like, listen, this a boy. Some boys just gonna be a little more energetic. What I will also do, LaDonna, is look up soccer for toddlers. My son started playing soccer at 18 months old. So that he have every Saturday out there at 18 months. So your son, it'll be a couple of things for him. Or look into karate. They'll have a little karate, that discipline. Um, like discipline have to be consistent. My son came to me today. He's 16. Daddy, can I get on the game and play? I just told him 2 days ago, no video game during the week, even though he in virtual school right now. Nope, can't get on the game. Do something else. Watch game film. Can't get on the video game. I'm gonna do one question at a time for the people who asking questions. So don't put a second question if you see other people haven't had a first question. I got to go in 30 minutes though, so I'll try to find time to pop on here more often while my son practicing if I'm not coaching. I normally be coaching right now from 8 to 9, but the young lady asked for a refund because I only do audio sessions. She want to do video sessions. I guess she felt like video is worth more than audio. And I'm like, the only difference between video and audio is you look at me in the eyes. So do you want to, is you paying to learn and get advice, or you paying to stare at me? So y'all, that's nothing I say to y'all, ladies that hire male life coaches. Make sure your spirit in the right place, and make sure you don't want to do a session just to meet somebody or just to look at them or what have you. Because if you getting the information is the information, whether you looking somebody in the face or not. And so y'all keep that in mind when y'all hire me. And the reason why I only do audio sessions is because I'm a married man. And so if you sitting and you talking to a woman for an hour and you looking each other in the eyes for an hour, that is a form of love making. And that's why a lot of women is getting tore out the frame by their therapists, because they going in there in person and they having vulnerable, open conversations. And the next thing you know, it get hot and steamy in there, and then some legs, some ankles behind ears. And so y'all need to make sure that when you dealing with men, that you coming for the right reason, and it ain't because you want to look somebody in the face. I'm 29, turning 30 this year with a 4-year-old, and the man I'm talking to is 40, twice divorced with 4 kids. He filed both times. Would you consider that a red flag? Yeah, I would consider a red flag because he is more than 10 years older than you. And also because you have a 4-year-old and you really don't want to have, now it's okay to date, but you don't want to have them like in person or around your child that's under 5. And sometimes even at 5, it still be a little tricky. And then me personally, I would kind of pause on a man, who done had 2 divorces. You got to really take your time. But a man who 40 and he want a 29-year-old, there are exceptions to the rule, but I don't trust it at all, because to be honest with you, it's not really attractive to have somebody 10 years younger than you. It's not really attractive because it's almost like you have your child. It's almost like you raising somebody. You're just so far apart. I just really don't trust. As a man, I don't trust or like when men date women so much younger. There are exceptions to the rule. I say that because I know 3 men personally in my family and close circle that their wife is significantly younger than them. But how and why it happened, I do not know. Did they do it because of the age? I do not know. But just as a general rule of thumb, you don't want to be with somebody that's 10 years or more older than you. But again, there are exceptions to the rule. Tony, thank you for letting us ask questions in regards to publishing a book in the future and publicity. How would you advise someone who is shy about being around people in public speaking? You either gonna have to get out your way. You're gonna have to get out your way and just do it, and just know that you're doing it for a reason, for purpose. I'm very shy and I don't like being around people and I don't like public speaking, but because the reason I do what I do is much greater than me and much bigger than me, that's why I do it. So if it's not connected to purpose, it's going to be extremely hard to do. But it really just comes down to just doing it. To be honest with you, it's no real secret sauce. It's like you just have to make it happen. Damaris, why do men keep texting after he has said he doesn't see us going towards a romantic relationship? He wants to put you on the roster, and he wants to have you as an option. He want to turn you into friends with benefits, or he want to be able to use you. Sometimes a man may not want to be romantic with you, but he'll keep you on the roster because there may be other benefits he can get from you. So if you are dating intentionally and you only want to talk to a man if y'all can move towards a relationship, which is smart, then you should cut him off, because otherwise he taking up that male space and that male energy, which will actually block your actual husband. So I cut him off. How to know if a guy was pretending to like you or lost interest in you along the way? If you have to ask, then he was. Like, I will tell you this, like 17 years of marriage next month, March 30th, is 17 years of marriage. And I still say sexual stuff and touch my wife and rub on her every single day. After 17 years, like when a man is into you, it is going to be annoying, like to the point to where we have to give you a break. The man will have to give you a break. You will get tired of him trying to be on you, in you, around you. Just men who are into a woman, we are very clingy and territorial. Even when we like our own space and our own time and space and freedom, we still gonna be very onto that woman. When you have to wonder, that mean a man has another interest. It don't necessarily have to be a woman. It could be porn. It could be his job. It could be his erectile dysfunction. It could be his family. It could be his health. But it just means you no longer a priority in his life when you gotta wonder. I took your advice and upped my bag, and now I'm a business assistant for a construction company. But how to utilize more of my gifts in this position? You probably gonna need a one-on-one session with that, because that's very specialized and it's very, something kind of unique in detail. And then also, I may not be the business coach for you because that's a little more niche. As a new business owner with an ebook and other products, would you recommend having all your products on your site and create content to drive traffic to your site, or launch products individually? If the products go together, then you could put them on your site. If the products are vastly, vastly different, like very different, then you will have individual sites for them if they're very, very different. But if it's like a product line that kind of goes together, then by all means you can do that a little differently and have it all together. I gotta forgive me. Let me see. Uh, he has good character standards and is a hard working man. The problem is that he doesn't know the Lord. He's willing to learn about Jesus. Should I give him a chance at a relationship? Only give him a chance if you could keep your legs closed and you could represent Jesus Christ. A lot of times the greatest witness is your witness, is your ministry. So what happens is women meet a man who have no interest in Jesus and don't want to know Jesus, and it's not you're not the first time he done heard of Jesus. But if a man can pretend to want to learn about Jesus and get between your legs, then that's what he will do. And there's so many women who are single, saved, and having sex that you kill your witness because you either sucking on something or ducking on something, and then trying to tell the man he need to have a relationship with Jesus, but you putting the man before Jesus by fornicating. So if you could live like Christ say live, then it could be a chance. But if you're gonna be in willing sin with him, then you shouldn't care whether he know God or not, because in his eyes you don't know God. So y'all got to be, and that's the mistake that most women make, is they be talking about he don't know God, he don't know God, and the man be like, well, you don't know him either, because you sin against him every day intentionally on purpose. What advice do you have when getting back with your ex? I broke it off with him. He's a good man, but we needed to grow. I'm 30, him 33. Problem I have is I'm super fit and he's obese, but I love him. Well, if he willing to work out with you, if he willing to eat right with you, then that's a start. But if he's just rebellious and he won't go to the gym and get on the treadmill and walk 30 minutes a day with you, and he won't eat healthier with you, then it's really a waste, because that says more about who he is and his character. And if he's unwilling to get better, then he's not actually a good guy. So a good guy would want to be better. And so that's what you got to see. And honestly, that's the best thing to do. X and I broke up for 2 years. He called STD while messing with a girl he met on a dating app. Wants to get back with me, but I feel he's asking from desperation since it's been so long. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I don't necessarily believe in going back unless it's special circumstances. And so you got to really ask yourself why you left, why it ended, what has he done to change and grow, what have you done to change and grow. And the only time is when there's been mutual growth. There's been mutual and equal growth. But other than that, you really wasting your time. You're really wasting your time. Dating an older guy doesn't mean he'll treat you right. I married a younger male, and care of by I took care of by ignoring the red flags. Leave that male alone. Missing here out a typo. Welcome to the new members. There's a few new members here. I got to get on here and do the Q&As a little more frequently. It just sometimes after I do them, the questions get redundant, and I be saying the same thing over and over, and I don't like saying the same thing over and over. But sometimes I just get on here and just do a lesson. You have one kid, he have multiple kids. Oh, this y'all giving advice to each other. If you have a question, put the hashtag Q in there, and I'll see it. Recently went out after church, and a guy gave me his number. He was about 40 years old, has a 5-year-old, recent career change. I am only 23. Does that mean I look older? How to take it? No, don't mean you look older. Don't mean you look older at all. That's just what men do. Men see women that they're attracted to and they approach them. He too old for you. And sometimes a man could just not know, because a woman could be 40 and look 25. So just men have stopped judging women by that. So it's not that you look older, but there's women who are 40 that look like you. There's women who are 35 that look like you. And you may still look the same at 30, 35, 40. So that's the thing. It's like sometimes you'll see people that are, man, you still look the same. It's like that's all it is. But once you find out the age difference, that's when it's on you. And it's not to say that you can't do it, but everything got to line up, and you got to make sure it's a exception to the rule. Uh, yes, you God bless you. No. I just learned about that yesterday. Somebody said her name. I didn't know her name. I just learned about that yesterday. So to be honest with you, I couldn't really watch it. I talk slow, but she talk a little slow. But it to me, from the little bit me and my wife watch, I could tell that she she gonna love the attention. That she gonna I think she gonna be putting a lot of sauce on there, just because the world treat us how the world sees us, and we all are aware of this. And so, like I tell y'all, a lot of times when you outside of the world's beauty construct, you get overlooked and you get mistreated. And this not rules that we wrote ourselves, but this is rules of the world. So sometimes with that kind of stuff, you have to be careful, like what you listening to and all of that, because you don't know the person motives. You don't know if it what all they making up, what all they adding to it, and then you giving your time to somebody else's business. So it's one thing to like watch a video or two, but when you sit there and it taking up your time, that's time that you're gonna want back on your deathbed. So the thing is if you're gonna watch it, make sure you learning from it. Make sure it's giving you, and once you get the lesson, then go on about your business. Because otherwise, you just watching reality TV and you're gonna want that time back. I got about 14 more minutes, maybe 25 minutes, because sometimes it take my son about 10 minutes to get out here. Shalom, Brother Gaskins. Can you please share best guidelines being a business owner, single woman, and having to meet with male clients? I tend to keep it for phone only with males. The phone is good. If you got to meet in person, that's okay. Just meet in a public place and just make sure you don't cross that line unless you know it's your husband. Make sure you don't cross that line. What do you think of only dating men from church? I don't want to be with someone random and I really want them to be a Christian. Well, the thing about that is like you're gonna have to be changing churches. So if you're gonna date a man, make sure that you have a checklist and you got some guidelines if you're gonna date them, because otherwise it's gonna it's gonna get real ugly. I coach a lot of people who dated somebody at church and now they got to change churches. It just never changed. Hold on one second. Y'all gotta forgive me. Somebody had text me and I was trying to help them out real quick. What do you think of a mentor being a male? I don't recommend it unless you paying them. So mentor is free. Coaching and stuff like mentor could be paid as well, but I don't recommend it unless you're paying. And then you just if he ever try to hit on you across the line, you got to just cut them off immediately. You cannot play with it because there's some people, men and women, like to use that power dynamic to sleep with people. So you got to be careful. Joy says she just had low self-esteem. I think she's talking about the TikTok lady. And I'm gonna tell you, and I try to tell y'all that too. Like when I seen the young lady, she not ready for a relationship. So who TF did she marry? She married somebody that didn't want her. Because to be honest with you, typically 9 out of 10 times, a man not gonna want you when you're not taking care of yourself yet, unless you got a health issue that won't allow you. You really, until you get to where you all the way to where you at your best, meaning you working out 3 to 7 days a week, you eating clean and you eating healthy and you living right, wherever your body settles at, that's where you want to be. Wherever that is, that's you, and that's where you at when you doing everything you can. When you're not doing that, you don't want to date outside of that, because who you attracting is a reflection of who you are. Who you settle with, that's a reflection of who you are. And that's the hard part. I'm gonna listen to some of it to see what she went through. But that's what I try to tell you is when you don't have the 3 B's in order, brains, brand, body, it's very dangerous to date, because the way we are wired on average as men, we are hunters. So a man like what he like, and it really don't deviate outside of that. So if a man come, and to me the sister looked like she had some meat on her bones. It could have been my wife's phone, it could have been the way she was holding the phone, but it looked like she had a little extra meat on her bones. And if I've seen what I've seen, if that was my sister, I'll say you're not ready to date right now, because you don't because a man not naturally genuinely attracted to the extraness right now. Because let me tell you, the type of man that's going to be attracted to you is a man who could lift you up. And when I say lift you up, he want to be able to lift you up, put you up against the wall, and wrap your legs around his neck like the man did AJ in Baby Boy. If you meet a man and you know he cannot physically lift you up to that point and wrap them legs around you, you got to be skeptical. It don't mean he don't want you, but you need to ask your board or directors. If your mama is living, ask her. If even she not living, think about what she'll say. Ask your sister, ask your best friend. If you unsure, you know you could ask me, and I'm gonna tell you, "Uh, he don't want you. He don't want you." And I've been having clients get real mad with me because I've been telling them the truth, because I said too many people lying to you. And there's too many people that's telling you the truth out of hate. I'm gonna tell you the truth out of love. Cause I want to see you do better. I want to see you win. So I'm gonna tell you what ain't nobody ever told you. That's like my first book, what daddy never told his little girl. It's too many of y'all women getting lied to. And then the men who telling you the truth online, they telling you from bitterness. Like the gentleman who passed away. He was real bitter. He tell the truth, but you could tell he was bitter. He was sour. Single, unmarried man, raised in by a single mom, was overlooked by women and mistreated by women. Still was a little bit feminine, but because he was so harsh and so direct with women, it made men love him, because he led the brigade of revenge of the lames, and so it made men love him. And then even men who were not treated like a lame still loved him because he was so direct with women. And but again, when you're not living right and you're not living healthy, unfortunately, he checked out early. But just so many Red Bulls, and then you trying to perform in the bedroom, so you're probably popping pills, and that'll lead to a premature heart attack. And that's why I try to tell y'all. So I tell you the truth. So some people say, "Oh, you saying the same thing that such and such said." Everything that these men who be upset with women, everything they say is not a lie. Everything they say is not a lie. It's just where they saying it from. They may be saying it from a place of anger, from a place of bitterness, because stuff haven't worked out in their own love life, because they done been cheated on or mistreated. But the truth is the truth now, and I'm gonna tell you the same thing. It just I may tell you from a different way. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to me? I'm 22, and this guy I've been friends for 3 years, and just started dating last year. He's 25. We are not together. I feel attached. He has always been there for me. You just have to be careful. You got to be careful. Don't get your hopes up. Don't give too much. Reciprocate what he gives, what he show you, what he give. You match his effort. You match his energy, but don't get your hopes up. A lot of times when you friend for years and then you go to dating, most of the time it's the curiosity killed the cat situation. A man finally get in there, he want to just explore and experience this woman he been sitting beside looking at. But it's different between being friends and being lovers and friends. It's a difference. Oh, the lady met the man online again. See there, y'all, another red flag. I'm gonna watch a little bit of what she talking about, but I already know I'll be done ripped it to shreds, and I don't even feel like wasting my time, because I could tell she a little bit attention seeking. Cause we ain't have to know all that. You ain't have to come do all of that. That what you get. You on there online day. Should have been on here. Your butt wasn't on here watching these videos. If you was on here watching these videos instead of thinking you know it all, wouldn't have went through all that. So that's why I don't be feeling like wasting my time, because it's too much information out here. It's too much information out here for y'all to be getting played. It's too much information out here. But then So many women will think men like me is full of crap and then go get played by a man who is full of crap instead of listening to the unadulterated, unbiased truth from a man who cannot touch your body, from a man who can't do nothing with you, just giving away the game. You ain't got to pay nothing to sit on here and watch this game get gave away. But people are taking, put it in a box. Oh, that's just men telling women what to do. No, that's what God called people for. He put people as front liners to help protect those who will be deceived by the adversary. That's all it is. This month I've had to cut off 5 guys I met because I didn't want to waste time. I'm 28. What do men think if you text them, hey, this isn't gonna work? Because I usually block them after. Summer, that's a good position to be in, Summer, to be able to block some folks and what have you, but maybe see what they say after instead of blocking them. But a man respect that. A man will respect you telling him that. It's gonna hurt his ego, but he'll respect you telling him that, then wasting his time. Yeah, that lady got a 50-part series. She about to make me do a 50-part series. She finna have what she about to do. What she don't realize is she finna have everybody doing 50-part series, and she finna have a lot of people telling lies. And then it's gonna turn into this toxic narrative stuff, men versus women, because it's gonna be on people it's gonna be people that's bored and lonely and want some attention. Start doing 50-part series telling a complete lie and just shattering people hope and dreams and love and in marriage and relationships and everything. That's how the devil works. That's how the devil works. Watch what I tell you. What does it mean when a mom enables her son? My mom enables my brother, and he is so disrespectful. I believe they're both narcissistic. Well, I don't speak on the term really narcissistic, and some women say it's because I'm a narcissist, which that probably would make them a narcissist. They don't even know me calling me a narcissist. But the reason why I don't speak on narcissistic because that's a clinical term, and I'm not a clinician. And so I try to respect that and stay in my lane. But what I will tell you, typically when a mama is enabling her son, it's a deep inner issue of her not having been loved by a man the way she desired to be loved by a man. And so she giving her son what she wished somebody would give her, which is a unconditional, forgiving, compassionate love, which with a young man could become enabling. And to be honest with you, I I'm not sure I've ever seen a woman that's not guilty of that. Like if a woman isn't guilty of enabling her son, she typically is the complete opposite, which is abusive. And I know there are women who probably who strike a good balance, but it's very rare. Very rare. I even have to get with my wife, just even today. She was something she was feeling about our oldest son and with him doing his schoolwork. And I said, listen, whatever God put on your heart to say to him, you need to say it. Don't come in here telling me for me to go be the bad guy. You need to make sure he respect your voice because I may not always be here. So if you feel like saying something to him, don't come tell me, go tell him because you are his mother and he need to respect your voice. She said, oh, well, he going to do everything you say do because he don't want to lose this opportunity to go play in England. I said, listen, if you tell him something to do and he don't do it, you could tell him England off the table and I'm going to back you in that because I'm your husband, but it need to come from you. He need to know what you expect from him, not just what I expect from him. And so, but the thing is, as a lot of times women don't understand men. And so a woman think that if she stand her ground, the man gonna hate her and the man gonna mistreat her and the man gonna ignore her and the man gonna leave her. And so a lot of mothers act like that with their son. But what moms don't realize is your son can't leave you. Your son needs you. And your son won't discipline. He won't structure. And a lot of women don't realize that. And I told my wife, I say, it's nothing ever you done made that boy do that he done came to me and complained about it. or that he done started hating you, or he done started mistreating you or disliking you. I say he expect that, but if you gonna let him get away with something, he gonna get away with it. That's human nature. A girl will do that to you too. My friends who look glamorous 24/7 are still single. I'm only motivated to look glamorous when I'm in a relationship, but I'm single. I only care to look normal. Is there something wrong with me for being this way? Nope, and you probably gonna figure something out. But today it ain't even about looks no more. It's just way too many women and not enough men. To be honest with you, a lot of people single just because of the ratios. It just ain't as many men as it is women. To be honest with you, and then today men, because men are easily programmed and men more like robots and creatures of habit. A lot of single men is being programmed by the toxic narratives that's online, and it's giving men paralysis by analysis because they're hearing so much information that they don't know what to believe. And most people don't have an internal guide that tells them what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and they looking and listening for guidance even if they're not admitting it. So a lot of guys are just, they shell shock and they don't know what a wife looks like, and they don't know how to choose a wife, and they really afraid to choose a wife because they've heard so many men say so many toxic negative things about women that in the back of their head they kind of believe in it. Separated almost 2 years from my husband. We have a 2-year-old and he is currently jobless. Doesn't seem to be looking for a job. This is really delaying a divorce process. What can I do? Since I don't know the divorce laws, typically they have something that you can go ahead and get around it if the other person ain't doing what they're supposed to do. But I don't know the divorce laws. What I would say is focus on taking care of your child 100%. Because at the end of the day, we can't, when we bring a child in the world, we can't depend or know that somebody will always be there with us to help. So as unfair as it seems, your focus have to be 100% on your child, not the divorce and not the dad. It's just making sure you got a job and making sure that you, if you could earn more money by adding a second stream of income, third stream of income, then do that. And don't sit and wait or allow anger and resentment to block your creativity from earning more money for your child. A young man took me on a first date to Twin Peaks. I thought this was inappropriate. What do you think? He might didn't know what Twin Peaks was, and then he probably didn't think much of it. And if you live somewhere with a Twin Peaks, then, because I'll be honest with you, I do a seminar in Atlanta. I don't live in Atlanta, and right outside of Atlanta, there's a Twin Peaks. I thought it was like a Colorado mountain thing. I later learned that I'm thinking Twin Peaks mean woman breast. But to be honest with you, the little waiters in there so basic and terrible. It's like they almost mess up your appetite than turning your own. So it's kind of like, and then when they look half decent, they doing so much for that doggone raggedy tip. It's like, man, will you calm down? I'd come in here to get a good Mahar burger. So don't look at it like that. If he took you to a strip club, that's different. But if it's a restaurant where kids going after the game and all of that, don't get caught up in the over analyzing the first date stuff. Don't, if it's not just completely all the way outright disrespectful, like the strip club or a club, then I wouldn't think too much of it, because Twin Peaks and Hooters and stuff like that stuff normalized. And if the food good, then a lot of people, especially as grown folks and as grown men, like, I could look at a naked woman and then my body don't do nothing. It don't do nothing for me. Like, a woman could be walking down the street, because it's just like, you grown. So it's not like he going in there. It's not that. He probably like that price point, that location, and just to see, and it could be a little test to see if you jealous and insecure. But again, that comes from the information that these men get, and you just don't know how they be thinking. What's your advice on social media presence? my personal pages. How often should you be posting? Every day. Every day. If you got something to say, every day. What are your thoughts on with these exes still living together as roommates? Sounds so concerning and miserable for sure. Exes living together, they still in relationship to me. Cause you go live with your mama, your homeboy, your homegirl. The lady moved in after 2 weeks. Yeah. Shout out. What it say? She making 30K per video, or she finna start lying. I might go team up with her. Man, let me go here and add some of these lies. Man, hey, let me do a coaching session on here for 3K. She about to have me do a 50-part series tonight. 30K a video. I'm finna do the 50-part series of when I did this and that. I'm finna be on there. I'm finna ask my wife, hey, let me do a who TF did I marry, and just start lying on you for this 30K episode. I might tell my wife to do one on me. Hey, baby, go do one on me, man. Call me all kind of names, crazy. Call me a narcissist. Call me a psychopath, a sociopath. 30K, baby. Listen, I'm 21. I cut off a guy because he smokes weed occasionally and vapes daily. He low key gaslit me over the phone when I told him. Maybe he knew I didn't want to. Should we cut them off via text? I cut them off via text, but it's okay with the phone too. It don't matter. I mean, it just come with territory. You get gas lit, you didn't get lit on fire. You didn't burn to death. So if you get gas lit and you know you're being gas lit, it's not the end of the world. But it's best not to do it in person, because if the man crazy, things could get physical. You could get hurt. You could lose your life. And it's best not to wait too long. As soon as you know a man is not the one, let him know. Because the longer you wind them up, he gonna be like a jack in the box. What advice do you have for me on moving in silence from my kid's father, who I currently live with? I'm ready to move on with my life. I'm 34 now. Kids are 12 and 6. Sis, that's a little tough one right there. You're gonna have to consult God on that, because when you're dealing with a man and you live with him and you close like that, and that's your child's father, the question like this could get you killed. It could get me killed. So you have to, know him better than anybody. So you got to come up with and devise a plan. And what I would say is get you an ally, meaning a home girl, a homeboy, mama, daddy, brother, sister. Get somebody that's gonna support you and help you. Because when a man see that you got somebody to go to, you got somewhere to go that you could stay with, they're gonna let you have a room, or you got representation or support. It kind of diverts any type of violent plan that he may come up with. Now, if he's not violent and you know that 100%, then create your exit plan and go on, make a move. I have a male family member that dates women outside his looks range. He looks like a taller version of Tyrese, and the women he dates looks like Minnie from The Help and weigh about 300 thoughts. Typically, what that means is the man is gay, or he uses them for they credit and money, and they baby him, enable him, or treat him like a king. Sometimes it is an exception to the rule, and he's just naturally attracted, but it's very rare. What are your thoughts on a woman approaching a man if she's interested? Never do it, because if you see a man, he sees you. And if he's not approaching you, it means he's taken or he's not interested. Because I'm married, but I see every woman. It just men. I see every man too, not in no sexual way. I see every woman, I see every person. It's just men. We hunters, we killers, we we very observant. So you not seeing a man that's not seeing you. And if this in person. And so if a man don't approach you, because think about it, you know me, like, because you know me, but what if you didn't know me and we go to the same church, we go to the same school, but I am who I am, like I'm me, like I'm married and I'm faithful. I can see you every day, but if you don't necessarily see my ring or whatever, or if I don't wear a ring and I'm not shooting a shot, that's because I'm married. I could even be attracted to a woman, but because I'm married and I'm faithful, I'm not gonna shoot no shot. So that's what you. So as a woman, never ever, never shoot your shot. Never, because when you do that, you don't know if the man wants you or like you, but he will 100% take you up on what you offering. Cause he know if you coming at him and you like him, that mean that's half the battle for him. That mean he know you sexually attracted to him. How do you rebrand yourself or find your brand? Right now on TonyGasAcademy.com is Entrepreneurship with Purpose. It's a $200 course, but I got it up there for $19 right now. So go on there and take Entrepreneurship with Purpose, because that's a whole sermon right there. It's a little too deep for here. Unique lyric. God bless you. Yeah, YouTube, they be tripping up sometimes. Is it bad me and my obese man met in rehab? Been 1 year, both sober now. Is there high risk in our relationship? That's why I broke it off, to let us grow. He's white, I'm black. So it was organic meeting. Sometimes that's not always as organic as you think it is. Because when you add that element in, you could be a fetish. You could be a fetish. So it ain't bad. Listen, a woman is wired for love. A woman is created for love. A woman want love in marriage more than a man want love in marriage. So if you as a woman ever leave a man or feel the need to leave a man, you are going completely against everything in you and your nature and what you created for. So that is your assurance and your safety right there. See, men, because we feel differently about love, we could actually leave a woman that's good for us just out of our ego, our selfishness, our greed. But if a woman leave a man, 9 out of 10 times, you doing the right thing, just because of how you wired and your intuition. Should I be entertaining more than one man at a time, going on dates, hanging out? Yes, you should, but not if it's turning into sleeping together. Meaning it's okay to go on different dates, but now when you come exclusive and a man say, will you be mine? Will you be my girlfriend? Can we be exclusive? When that happened, now you got to shut it all the way down. There are two men that I follow on Instagram that are highly educated, handsome, and men of God, but single. You would think men of that caliber would have their choice of women. Is that weird? It is very weird. It is very weird. But a lot of these men that's out there, they do have their choice of women, and they knocking the lining out these women, drilling a hole in these women, and that's why they single, because they going from woman to woman, tearing them up, and they building a relationship and a rapport, and they getting women who not going to tell that they slept together. These women got a brand, they got a name, and they got something to lose too. So these women not gonna come up and say such and such slept with me or sleeping with me, because that make her look desperate and dumb too. And so that's how these men have this safety. And we protected and insulated like that as men. So it's like, even me going on 17 years of marriage, if I wanted to cheat, I could go out and cheat. And if I cheated with a high enough caliber woman, she knows she will look dumb and stupid for sleeping with a married man. So she would never say nothing. And the reason why I'm expressing this to let y'all know that's how this stuff is. That's how these guys out here doing that. Now I can speak on that because I'm not doing it. If I was one of the guys doing it, I'd be, you'll never hear that little piece of game if I was out here doing it. And because I wouldn't be on here if I was sleeping with a woman who not telling, I wouldn't be on here saying this, gaslighting her. But that's what these guys doing, because we don't live in a day of Apostle Paul. We don't have, out of 1,000 men that's single and claiming to be a man of God, out of that 1,000, maybe 10 of them gonna be like Apostle Paul. Maybe 10 of them. You could pretty much bet if a man's single, he getting them a little piece of cookie. If not every now and then, he might not be in it every night. He might not be in it every week. He might not be in it every month. But even the men that I mentor who are single men of God, every now and then they fall off in that thing. They fall off in there, and they'll get real quiet and they'll get real distant from me. And then they'll come back later. Yeah, man, Tony. So yeah, man, I was a little distant, man, because I had fell into some sin and I just didn't know how you would feel or how you would see it. And I say, hey, man, I get it. I get it. I totally understand. But, my thing is, I just say, don't play with God now. So if you're going to be falling into that sin, make sure you shut up. Stay off that internet giving advice if you're going to be falling into that sin now. And that's how I tell them. And let me tell y'all something. Now. Listen to me, man. I'm going to tell y'all something. If not, it's women been trying me. It's just real subtly trying to send little messages, and I'm getting random text messages. Just, hey, long time no see. If you watching this video, stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. If your plan is to see if I'm going to cheat on my wife, you are wasting 100% of your time, and you are building a hot hole in hell because you trying to be a temptress to a servant of God. So you are wasting 100% of your time if you was a woman, and better not be no man now, because you digging your grave now, because you come trying me like that. There's a diesel. Huh? There's a diesel. Hey, but God bless y'all. Got to go. My son got him a haircut, so now he got plaits. Now we going to Manchester. What application is this? It's called, I can't give him no pull. That I'll tell you about it. Let's see right there. Can't get a pull. Send me a check. It's me the people. Are there people live on this? Yeah, there's people right here. Right here. Hey, we going to Manchester, England. I need somebody who could do plaits like that, just in case he need to get them plaits done. My wife did those. Those called plaits. Box braids. Braids to the head. They might be box braids. I call them plaits. So need somebody over there, preferably somebody with a little African descent. God bless you, and we'll talk soon.